Greetings, fellow zombie slayers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Zed City, Episode 7, Biting Cold. There is one major change in this stream compared to last stream, and let me launch this. So I'm going to be running a change log week after week, which will track the changes made. So the changes for this stream versus the first one, zombie threat scale has increased from 100 to 125. Manhunter Pact incident is turned off, and another rule added to the rules, which is no overland travel without a vehicle, which I think is very reasonable, given that Zombieland the mod doesn't have threats out on the road when you're caravanning, really. So it makes a lot of sense that vehicles are required for safety, for roleplay reasons. I don't think it's reasonable that someone try to walk 5 days in a zombie-infested world. That just doesn't make all that much sense. So where we're picking up is there in the top right. We are working on warm clothing as we're heading into winter, and a proper research room to speed up our research rate so that we can get microelectronics. We had been working on increasing the defenses, improving the defensive wall here, and also double walling so that when our walls fail, we have a backup. And I think that's going to be really important. All right, now that we're heading into the colder seasons, one thing I am going to do is start to roof up the geothermal, and that should heat up the farm, and then capturing all the heat that's coming off of these air conditioners, because again, it is getting cold. I guess I'll keep that door open. Another thing I want to do, which isn't exactly in the priority, is I want to slightly modify... Ooh, a wild boar. I want to slightly modify this wall here. So I'm going to be adding this to a priority of mine, because it's not going to take very much time. And you'll see the benefit of the changes. The benefit of the changes is going to be that zombies won't get stuck back here, and we will have a double wall here as well. Because I think if we're going to suffer some sort of zombie incursion, it's likely the incursion is going to be around the entry gate. So reinforcing the entry gate is a wise idea, I think. And thank you for the gifted subs in the chat. Statastig, Rhodes, Orange Kaz, Deodora, Starman, Lakiwa. Thank you so very much. I'll drink to that. So right now we're in a zero threat situation for about a day. So I only really have a day to rework the walls. And I want to spend the zero threat time wisely. Because if you take a look at the forecast here, we're not going to have a nice long period of time until maybe about 2 weeks out. We have like a day here, a day there, but it's very difficult when zombie threat ramps up to 100 to clear all the zombies in one day so that you can functionally be outside. Another thing I wanted to do is to queue up some dusters. So I'm going to queue up dusters without cloth, because cloth can have use for like billiards or poker or things like that, and instead just use leathers. I don't particularly care what leathers Guero chooses to make dusters out of, because, you know, no matter what leather we pick, it's probably not going to stop you from being mauled to death by a swarm of zombies, right? Typically, when we get attacked, it's going to be so lethal that you could have an amazing duster and it's not going to matter at all. So ultimately, the material that we choose doesn't much matter to me. All right, another thing I want to do is I'm going to move this heater into the farm here. And then Stormguard, I'm going to have you clear out the wild boar, because that's food, nice pork. And then start working on revamping that section of the wall. Once I'm done with the warm clothing and the sort of hospital room here, research hospital. I'm going to have you guys in chat then vote for what major project to work on next. I also think I'm going to enlarge in this hospital a little bit. So I'm going to have Guero chip away at the rocks here. Again, there is no insect faction. There is no infestations. Overhead Mountain is not a thing to be worried or even care about. So hypothetically, I could expand the base deep into the mountain, and that would bring sizable amount of security. Because the other thing is, the Frostkeepers and the Troza militia that we paid off for security will at some point might become hostile with us. I don't know if that's going to be the case if we continue to deliver tribute to them, or if we keep them appeased. I mean, ultimately that will be up to you all. But one of the advantages of being in Overhead Mountain is you can't suffer a pod drop raid when you have Overhead Mountain above your head. So going deeper into the mountain has its benefits. It does have weaknesses too, though. A major weakness, of course, is that the further we are from where zombies tend to congregate, the harder it is to provide security. Because sending shooters out to guard the docks when we live, like if we lived like way down here, would just, take a while. That, and if you dig to the edge of the mountain, zombies can enter the edge. Zombie spawning plays by different rules than regular raiders do. Whereas raiders won't spawn in Overhead Mountain tiles for the most part. Zombies don't care. I mean, they'll spawn on you no matter what. Another thing that I want to do while we're out here in this very brief moment of respite is to cut as many trees as we can, because wood is sort of a precious resource and we don't really have a lot of access to it as a result of being in this sort of apocalyptic setting. So Zeusin is taking a little break from research to cut some wood. And I'm just being very watchful, because not all the zombies that are on the map have been killed. So, we have one zombie here that could bug us. Just making sure that everyone stays nice and safe. Alright, so the plan for here is to build a wall so that there's no, catch here. And we already deleted all the ruins in this area so that zombies can't get stuck. Because ultimately, we sort of want them to efficiently congregate around the main gate so we can kill them effectively. And they're not going to do that if they're trapped. Their pathing is a little, they're a little slow. All right. Looks like I've got some company coming. And pretty soon we're going to be into the threat time. So I'm going to actually wake Stormguard up and wake Redfield up and have them complete this wall, because it's sort of time sensitive and I'm going to lose access to the outside shortly here. Oops. Sorry, Redfield. Didn't mean to do that. Alright, so threat is heading up to 73% in the next day, and it will hit all the way up to 100. Gotta be very careful. I also don't seem to have enough granite. Noted. So there's some granite blocks up there. Stormguard is having kind of a long day here, but I think it will pay off. Alright, all the blocks in, and we are officially going to be in base lockdown. With the threat at 7% creeping up to 100, I don't think it's worth going out there. But now I have access to this area. One thing I wanted to do here is to stick another door in here so that the gap is accessible. Is it worth walling up the northwestern outside your base so that zombies will only approach from the south? I'm not entirely sure what you mean, because I feel like I've already done that. You mean like wall this up? Here? Possibly, if that's what you mean. Of course, the caveat would be that priorities require voting, so only if it was suggested and then voted on. As is tradition. Okay, so slightly larger research room. There'll be a little bit of walking space as a result. That should be nice. Another thing I could do is to... I'm just keeping watch of the temperature in and around the base here, because if it gets too cold, we're going to suffer research speed penalties, and there's not a lot of sense in researching slow if we can help it. All right. Zombies aren't congregating yet. I also need to be very watchful for the special zombies that like to ambush me out of nowhere. The tank operators or, you know, the nasties. Babby Junie and Craig. Nerdy Burner, Orange Chaos, cheers. Cheers, cheers, cheers. So Guero took the first coat. It is a pigskin duster. Cool. Oh, Hess too. Thank you all. Y'all are too kind. The rice farm's getting a little too hot, so I'm going to maybe close the vent and then remove partial roof. Trying to find what normal is. The base here is pretty temperate at the moment, so I'm not going to mess with that sort of homeostasis. Another thing I could do is to increase the base here, the location for the base, so that we can add that door. All right. So obviously, the research room needs a little bit more love before I can mark that down as actually completed. But all in all, you know, things are trucking along pretty well. So it's September the 9th, and I think it's going to be important to try to get warm clothing. I don't really want frostbite, especially given the scarcity of medicine. Frostbite sounds bad. Sounds real bad. Question for you all, and I'm going to leave this poll up a while. For the next colony project, what would you want? So here is a giant list, and I'll put that up for 5 minutes. So I could build a storage room, and what a storage room mostly would be, it would be using sandstone to build shelving and to store things on shelves so that they're slightly more organized. Expanding the power grid means probably another wind turbine. Or two. Build another farm. One of the advantages of the farm is once we are running with vehicles, an obvious good source of biofuel will be like rice from hydroponics or corn from hydroponics. Not necessarily hydroponics, but farming. So there's the option of building another farm there. Improving the defenses would be probably trying to remove some of this structure here, because this is like a a bit of a sketchy minefield to traverse. So waiting until there's some sufficient downtime and trying to kill off the zombies around and making it a little bit more safe. Or alternatively, putting in amenities on the pier, like leather chairs and eating table and things like that, so that people can relax, maybe even art out there, so that it's a beautiful spot. Because one of the advantages of being far enough from the zombies is they are not affecting the beauty in this area here. The beauty here is like neutral. As it approaches zombies, obviously it gets ugly. But, you know, that's another thing that we could do. And I just want to kill the Grimers, the Slimers. I sort of wish I killed the Slimer before it got next to the gate, because now it's got all that slow gunk around there. But oh well, that happens. So you guys will ultimately decide what kind of projects we work on. Alright, base zone looks right. And I guess one thing that Zeusing could do is cut these trees down, because they're now inside the base. Now, if you're wondering, because I've had questions about, does it make sense to like try to annex the entire map and stuff like that? There's a lot of mechanics in the zombie mod that disincentivize you to try to like have a giant base out in the world. Obviously, zombies like to congregate around doors, so if you have many doors, that's going to be a problem, because then you're going to need to guard many doors. And then if you, like, let's say, because I did have a YouTube comment of like, what if you built like walls around the edge of the map? Well, the zombies will sometimes spawn the tank zombies, which will destroy walls. They can also hoard around a wall, so if they become enraged and their numbers become high enough, what ends up happening is they will scale walls. So they will, like if there's like 19 zombies in one giant cluster, they will actually take zombies and start throwing them over the wall so that walls become ineffective. So it's really important to make sure that we don't let them ever hit that sort of critical threshold where they can start scaling walls with their numbers. That's going to be, you know, pretty important not to allow happen. So a small footprint base like mine is probably the easiest to manage and likely you know, one of the more successful styles. Oh, we do have a tank zombie though. Okay. And I also hear the tinkering of an albino zombie threatening to unlock doors. I just don't know where it is. So I have signaled all of my people to come over to shoot the tank op, the tanky one. So Stormguard is aiming for it specifically. I don't see the albino though. And I think I'm even going to go into the red threat. Luckily this zombie here is not D-lining for me, so it could be worse. Where is the albino? He's probably unlocking doors like elsewhere on the map. Wish there was an easier way to like spot them. What does the glowy one do? So here are the types of zombies that can spawn. We have got... Where are they again? Up. We've got suicide or bomb zombies. Those are real bad. Because when they die, they blow up. Toxic splashers, which I believe is what that glowy one was. Where if you stand on the it's like acid. Their blood is acid. Tanky operators, which is this one, which plows through walls. Mining zombies, electrifying zombies, albino zombies, dark slimers, which is the one down here causing all the tar type stuff, and healer zombies, and then siege zombies, which we have not yet faced. So now that tank operator is just a regular zombie. But the zombies around this north wall are a little riled up, so I'm going to clear them out as well. This is obviously a delicate part of the base, considering it's walls of wood and not of stone. But it's like the best we can do for now. Okay, I think the threat is, at least the immediate threat is over. I don't see the albino zombie anywhere near our door. So I'm letting everyone catch some Z's. Does light attract the Zeds? No. They're attracted by people. They don't care about light. I no longer hear the tinkering. We are heading to a down threat. It might be possible to try to, like, clear out some extra zombies. And I'm going to resolve this poll. So I'm going to improve colony morale and defenses next. Even though this isn't like a proper research room yet, because it's slightly dirty and all, what I will do is I'll add a sink in there to help keep it cleaner. Oh, you know, I don't even have a sink, do I? Does this basins? Yeah, these steel basins add cleanliness. So I'll add a steel basin. And then call that good for now. I might need to wake people up because they're starting to swarm. I'm going to do Redfield and Zeusson first. Let Stormguard sleep in because her morale is the lowest. Alright, Stormguard, please eat quickly, because I need you down here. No, don't play horseshoes. Oh, come on. Eat a meal. I'm gonna force her. Now, I had previously thought, because we're heading into a zero zombie situation, we're heading to a zero threat, it might be worth actually clearing them out so we can do some out-of-the-base projects. So this works for me. Can I explain how we get more people? We rescue them. They radio us for help, and we go help them. It's as simple as that. Not all of them are dead, but enough that we can let everyone go for now. There is the last plain leather duster. Awesome. So we'll get the sink up, and then I will say the warm clothing is done for now. We'll do a little bit of work on the, don't leave the poo in the door. That's not good. We'll do a little bit of work on this room, and then we'll start on improving defenses. So another thing that I'm having Stormguard do right now, as I'm sure you noticed, is adding wood to this hallway. So if we do have a breach, once I have access to Molotov cocktails, it might be possible to light that corridor on fire, and provided it's not raining or snowing, that will help to weaken the zombies at least a little bit. It could end up backfiring and lighting the base on fire, so I got to be careful with that. It's not a silver bullet that is guaranteed to work. Alright, so we are almost at the zero threat. I'm a little worried about the slime here, because as you can see, it's really slowing. We're gonna have storm guards start to clear the zombies out around as carefully as she can. And a cold snap. All right, I'm gonna have to prep for the cold snap. Now, I sort of wanted to wait until I had a better source of heat. I wanted like central heating and not piecemeal heating, but I don't think I can wait. So with the cold snap setting in, let's go ahead and roof this up and flick the switch. Cheers! And Parks in Space, thank you for the gifted sub. Keeping the farm warm. Looks like the berry bushes are dying due to cold. Oh, where are you going to spicy locations, huh? I'm gonna try to clean some of the slime here too. I did have grenades and cocktails nearby in the first video. I don't think that they exist now. Okay, this room is now clean. Is it worth harvesting the fresh zombies? Yeah, it would be if it was safe to go out there. Yeah, for zombie parts. You know, it's the ever constant risk versus reward. Speaking of which, okay, so we have a healer zombie here. I think there's a toxic zombie somewhere in there. I don't see any tankies, which is good. Tankies and albinos are probably the largest threat other than the siege zombies. See Simby, thank you for the resub too. Oh, these are enraged, so you can see their eyes are red, and they're pissed off, and they're actively attacking the door as a result. Luckily, uranium doors are hefty. But Redfield just spent like the entire night hunting. So we have a zero threat situation for about one more day. And Redfield is a little hypothermic. Oh, I got a recon helmet popping through the wall. I'll take that. That sounds good to me. Definitely don't mind. So one thing I'd like to do, which is going to look a little strange, but I'm going to put a sandstone table here with... What kind of leathers do I have? I have a lot of plain leather. With plain leather, here, here, well... maybe I'll move it over one. I also noticed that I probably need another door here so that I can quickly switch. Actually, for now, a door here would work. So I can quickly switch from the tunnel to the shooting gallery. Because wooden doors are weaker than wooden walls, but like, you know, it's only a difference of a few hits to a zombie, so it's not a huge deal. Wow, there's a lot of zombies still congregating. It's going to be... I don't think we're going to be able to get out of the base. Yeah, I don't think that's reasonable. We'll have to wait for... Maybe on that day 10, that like 2-day 0, gap, we might be able to venture out a little bit more safely. We're good for meat for now, however. Which is good. Oh, thanks, Randy. Oh, Jesus, you almost hit Guero. So this is more dangerous because we have wooden walls, so I'm going to get 3 people to fight this fire. Wow. I gotta say, Randy, your accuracy was really good. I don't see any fires anywhere outside of my base, and you hit my base with lightning like 5 times. So, I don't know. You must be a son of Odin or something. You must wield a Mjolnir. My lord, was that accurate? There. So, see, we can fire in comfort. And then we'll be able to eat... We'll be able to eat our meals here as well. The other thing they could add in here is like a basin so that we can grab water while we're out here as well. Hell, I'd even at some point consider like adding a mini fridge. You know, just a little refrigerator. Although people will store meals on their person, so that's probably not necessary. Oops, got a little hypothermic. My bad. I may need to consider parkas. Although, in her case, she could also go for a more insulating shirt. So let me see about that. I actually don't have good leather for that. Definitely don't have any wool. Camel hide? 28 Fahrenheit. Light leather, 21. All right, we'll do a camel hide button down for her. Well, let me check pigskin too. I don't have them all memorized. 21. Okay, yeah, camel hide's gonna be the best. So camel hide shirt. Mega sloth would be awesome. Yo, warm up, girl. It is. Here, I'm gonna stick her in here. It is cold snap. I'm glad I put the heaters in here preemptively, because this cold snap is gnarly. It's quite cold. It's like -7 in the base. You haven't seen any traders? All of the reason why would be in the details. There is no such thing as traders. It's a zombie apocalypse. No one's gonna risk being out on the open road. That's insane. No one's gonna wander in. There's never gonna be a visitor. It's too dangerous out there. Way too dangerous out there. Stupid lightning. If I had a lot of wood, I might even consider making a bridge here, because it is a nice little spot to shoot from, too. Alright, button down is done. So the insulation for this is 7.5 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is better, because it's in thread. Okay, don't wear that. I tried. I think probably the best thing would be tribal wear, but that would just look silly, so I'm not going to consider it. Are there any Hindu dangers? No. No hidden dangers, no minables. There's really not much going on outside except for ruins. Well, the rice is within temperature tolerance, which is good. Oh, a healer zombie. Yeah, let's get it. There we go. Will I raid neighboring cities? Yes, but with that, not if I have to violate the rules for doing it. All right, another thing I could do for colony morale, because we have sandstone and we have cloth, is to make billiards. Oops. And poker. Wow, I really just dumped a giant hole in there, didn't I? We can get that going. Do I need a comms console? There is no such thing as comms consoles. Again, just click the details, guys. You keep asking questions that I've already answered. I don't want to keep answering the same questions. Click the details. Comms consoles are disabled. Drop pods are disabled. Deep drills are disabled. Shipbuilding is disabled. All that is disabled, and it's in the scenario. It's in the details. You needn't ask. I've already provided an answer. Who is the best constructor? It is Redfield and Guerrero are tied. So as long as Redfield completes the completes it, it should be fine. All right, so he's cleaning up the dark slime on the door, which is good. We are at 20 threat, heading up to a peak of... Oh, well, it will tell me tomorrow. Not to be rude, but please read. Rad is one of the few streamers I know who does all this, so no one's confused. I know. It's fine. I mean, I just don't want to keep answering questions like that. I get it. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of text, and reading is hard. I'm actually very bad at reading, like IRL. I read very slowly, as if I'm dyslexic. So I can sympathize. But yeah, in terms of, well, I'll show you just here. Here is the incidents that are disabled. It is a very long list, right? We're not going to have caravan meetings. We're not going to have resource pod crashes. You know, all of these incidents were disabled to try to simulate a zombie apocalypse. Like, random people don't wander in. Farm animals don't wander in. Thrumbos don't wander in. We don't have herd migrations. No wild men. No alpha beavers. Like, nothing really shows up except for zombies. The world is zombies, and that's basically what happens. There's no orbital trade caravans or visitor groups, traveler groups, friendly raids, men in black, so on and so forth. There's no mechs. You know, it's very a custom-tailored scenario to simulate sort of a zombie apocalypse and remove all the elements of quests and game incidents that don't fit the theme. It's also why I don't have any DLCs, because one could make the argument the ideology would fit this, and I agree. However, it's not very often that I can do a completely vanilla series with no DLCs whatsoever. Granted, this is not vanilla, there's mods. But one of the reasons why I left all the DLCs out is, like, not everyone owns them, and you can completely play 100% of this scenario for yourself without owning any DLC, and I did that very intentionally. So, this isn't, like, as long as you own RimWorld, this is not, like, paywalled in any way. And why no ranching? I just don't like ranching. I mean, maybe at some point we ranch if it makes sense, like boomlopes or something if we need the chem fuel. But I'm looking out for people, not for animals. So once we've peaked zombie threat at 59%, I'll try to clear them out so that in 2 days we have a little time to go outside of the base. Because I would like to remove some of this ruined jungle here. Because zombies get caught in these really small rooms, and it's very challenging to shoot them safely because you have to get so close that it's dangerous. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Zed City, which originally streamed live on Twitch October 8th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow zombie slayers,